Hello, hello, friends. Today we are going to now find distances on a coordinate plane. So you will be able to find out how far away points are on a coordinate plane without even having to use the coordinate plane. So let's get started. Let's start by counting, and then I'll show you the trick to not even having to look at this and just being able to tell the distance anyways. Okay, so on this first one, we're going to find the distance between -3, 1 and 2, 1. So in your notes, that's this one to this one. And we can look and we can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. We okay there? The next one is 2, 1 to -4. So that's a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units as well. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see the -4. You've got it in your notes. Okay. The next one is 2, 4, 4, 4, 4. Ooh, I'll fix that in your notes. It will say -4. Okay. And that is just 2 away. And the final one is -3, 3 and -3, 1. And that's also 2 units. Okay. So let's see if we can find some cool things that might help us to where we don't have to count it. Okay. And let's see, the first thing I notice is interesting that 3 and 2, if we put them together, that gives us 5. Well, that makes sense, right? Because this is 3 away and this is 2 away. So that makes sense that 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2 would equal 5. That's kind of cool. I wonder if that's true with like the next one. The next one was, yeah, look, 1 and 4. There's 1, and then here's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1 and 4, that also equaled 5. Is that true with the next one? The next one was 2 and 4. Oh, but 2 and 4 don't equal 6, does it? That was only 2 units away and not 6 units away. Well, let's look at the last one. The last one, the different coordinates are 3 and 1. And 3 and 1 doesn't equal, it does, like, that's not 4, is it? That's only 2. Oh, but look, 3 minus 1 equals 2. Is that true with this one? That one right there was 2 and 4, huh? Yeah, and 4 minus 2 does equal 2. And this was 3 minus 1, and that equaled 2 also. But then how come like this one was the 3 and the 2, and we added it there to equal 5. And then same here, the 1 and the 4 equals 5 as well. So can you guys figure out why we're adding some of these to get a distance and why we're subtracting some of these to get a distance? Can you figure it out on your own? Because if you can, you're going to remember it more because you will have discovered it. Okay, here's the trick. If they are in the different quadrants, so do you see how this is quadrant 2 and this is quadrant 1? And that's why we added those two. We added the 3 and 2. And because we're talking about distance, we absolute valued that, didn't we? So it was actually 3 plus 2, and that gave us 5. And that was true with this one too. We had 2 different quadrants. The distance went over 2 quadrants. And so we added the 1 with the 4 and got 5, didn't we? So we used the absolute value there to make it a positive 4. But then when we got here to just these 2 points, they were both in quadrant 4. And so they were so close to each other, we didn't need to add. So that's when we take the coordinates that are different and we subtracted them. 4 minus 2 equals 2. Basically what you're doing is you're taking this long 4 right here, and then you're subtracting the 2 right there. And so you're left with just the 2 that is the true distance, huh? And that will be true for this quadrant or these distances right here. We've got a distance of 3. And then if we subtract that distance of 1 right there, we'll be left with the distance of 2, right? So we take the 3 and the 1 and we subtract and get 2. Okay? So if you can visualize that and see it, you'll be able to know whether you're adding or subtracting. But if you're just someone that just is good at memorizing, then here's what you need to remember. If the two different ordered pairs are in the same quadrant, so positive, 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 or negative, 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 if they're in the same quadrants, then if they're in the same quadrant, not divide, what am I thinking? Subtract. If they're in the same quadrant, subtract the different coordinates. Okay, what I mean by that is if we look at here, the ones we're not going to subtract because they're not different. What we're going to do, or what we're going to look at, is we're going to look at the coordinates that are different. So the 2's are the same, so we just need to look at the 1 and the -4. This is supposed to be -4, so the -4 and the -4 we're not going to look at. We're just going to look at the distance between 2 and 4. Okay, and the -3's are the same, so we're only going to look at the distance between 3 and 1. Well, the distance between 3 and 1 is just 2, right? So that's if they're in the same quadrant, we're going to subtract. If they're in different quadrants and they go over either the x or the y-axis, then that's when we are going to add the different coordinates. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look for when we're looking for distance is are they in the same quadrant or are they in different quadrants? Do they stretch out over an x or y axis? So, whoa, where'd you go? Nope, that's not it. Should be here. Un momento. Oh, we're back. Okay, here we go. So when we look at two distances, we're going to first see if they're in the same or different quadrant. So here is A, here is B. They're in the same quadrant, right? They're both in quadrant 3. So that means we are going to subtract. What are we going to subtract? Well, the -6's are the same, right? The -6 didn't change. What did change is the -9 and the -4. And because we're talking about distance today, anytime you see negatives, you can think of, oh, I'm talking about the distance. So we're going to absolute value everything today. You can write it like that. Honestly, you can just automatically put it in the positive. 9 minus 4 is 5. And you might be like, well, no, that's 1, 2 and a half. Where are you getting 5? Ah, did you notice that we are counting by 2's for every line? So yeah, technically it is 5 because that's 2 and 4 and another 1. So that's why it's 5. All right, let's look at B and E. So I'm going to clear this space. You can keep it in your notes, but B's here and E is right there. So do you see how we went over the y-axis? That lets me know that we are in different quadrants. So because we're in different quadrants, we're going to add. And what are we going to add? We're not going to add the -6's. Okay, that didn't change at all. The distance didn't change there. What changed is that we went from -4 all the way over to +8. Okay, so if you want to look at a number line and count the steps between -4 and +8, you are going to get 4 here to get this distance. And then you're going to get 8 here to get this distance. And when you add those two together, 4 plus 8 will give you 12 units. Okay, let's just keep practicing. If you're lost, just keep working with me. This is new stuff, so it's okay if it's a little bit like, what? Let's look at D and E now. The more practice we get, the more our trail gets paved. So D and E, here's D right here, here's E right here. Are those in the same or are they in different quadrants? Well, they cross over the x-axis, which means they're in different quadrants. This is quadrant 4, this is quadrant 1. So because they're in different quadrants, we are going to add those together. So we're going to add, if we look at our ordered pair, the y's are different. So we're going to add the 6 right here with the 3 right there. 6 plus 3, those 2 points are 9 units away. We had to add the 3 with the 6. Okay, last one. If you want to pause and see if you can do it completely on your own, if you're feeling like you got it, do it. And then push play and let's see if you got it. If not, then let's practice some more. So C and D, here's C in quadrant 1. Here is D in quadrant 1 as well. So those are both in the same quadrant, which means we are going to subtract. What are we going to subtract? Well, 8 minus 8 would give us 0. That's not a distance of 0, right? So we need to find the coordinate that actually shows a distance. 10 and 3 is a distance, right? So we're going to take the 10 and subtract the 3, and that will give us 7 units right there. If you want to visualize what's going on, you're taking that 10, and then you're subtracting the 3 away right there and giving you the 7 units. Okay, how you feeling? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's kind of think of this a different way now. So now I'm going to give you the distance and you're going to find the other point. So you'll be given a point and then you'll be asked, well, what's the distance? And we're not going to use a coordinate plane. It's going to be really cool. So the first one we have is 3, 5. And I need to find 2 points that are 4 units away. Okay, so I may draw out this first one just so you can visualize what's going on. So over 3, up 5 would be right here, correct? So it's asking for 2 different ordered pairs that are both 4 units from 3, 5. And it's the y-axis, the y coordinate that's missing. So we're going to change our elevator. We're not going to change how far right or left we are. We're just going to change how high or how low on the y-axis we go. So if I go 4 units higher, that means I'll be at 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll be right here. So that will be 3, 9, won't it? And that would be 4 units away. But what if I went 3 units down? Well, that would be 1, 2, 3. What is 5 minus 3? It is 2. So, wait. I need to go 4 units down. Whoops. 5 minus 4 is 1. That looks right. So, I'm at 3, 1. Both of these are 4 units away from the place that I originated at, which was 3, 5. Okay? So let's try one where the x-axis is missing. And I'll draw this one out. And then we'll do it without the drawing on the last one. Should we do that? So 6 units away from 2, 1. But this time, like I said, the x is missing. So we're going to stay at elevator 1. But we're going to move how far right and left we go. So we're going to go right 6 units and figure out where that is. Then we'll go left 6 units and figure out where that is. Okay, so if we go right 6 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that puts me here. So if I just add 6 units, I end up at 8, 1. Okay, now what if I subtract 6 units and go to the left? Can you do 2 minus 6? Ooh, your first or second grade teacher might be like, no, you can't do that. But now that we've been introduced to the negatives, you can get in the negatives, can't you? You can start at 2, and you can work backwards. Oh, where'd my 2 go? You can work backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that, why does it do that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That will put you at actually -4, and still our elevator's at level 1, right? So I went from 2, 1. I moved to the right 6 and ended up at 8, 1. And then I moved left 6 and I ended up at -4, 1. Okay, let's see if we can do that without drawing and just kind of visualizing in our head. We are going to go 7 units from -4, 1, and we're going to look for the y. So our elevator is going to change, but not how far right we are, or left, right? Because this is negative. So let's just look at the -1 right here. That's what's going to change, the y coordinate. It's going to go 7 units up, and it's going to go 7 units down. So if we're at -1, and we're going to add 7 to that, well, we're going to go to the right. We're at -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to end up being at +6, correct? Then, if we're at -1 and we're going to go to the elevator down 7 units and we're already at -1, well, now we're going to go -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. There's my 7 units away. That's going to put me at -8. Whew, so do whatever you need to do. Maybe the fingers work for you. Maybe you're going to want to keep drawing it out. Whatever works for you is the way your brain works, and work with it and do it that way. Going to end with your test question. What is the distance between points to -6 and -6, -6? Draw it out if you need to, or look at what is different. It is, they're in different quadrants, aren't they? Because this is positive and this is negative. So that is your instant clue that, oh, they're in different quadrants. Okay, so let's figure out if they're in different quadrants. We're going to add the 2 and add the -6, right? 2 plus 6 is 8 units. Woo! All right. Your homework today gives you lots of practice. Make sure you do it enough that you feel like your trail's really paved before you check and head into the mastery check. See ya.